And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Hope you're having a good day. In case you don't know, this is serious talk on everything that affects you. We will do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the Morlocks in D.C., go look up Morlocks, and anything else that we think matters, and especially when we're in January, where, I don't know if you know this, but January in the markets has a reputation for whipsawing around, and maybe we're starting to get a little bit of that. We'll get into it. Of course, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. If you don't follow us on X, just put our name in. We'll also post it on podcast apps, as well as the BizTV YouTube channel. And if you'd like to email me, just be nice. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we call it Jell-O moving on the plate. That's what we call it. A lot of swinging around, a lot of sectors doing their own thing. In technology, I have one sector that is bearish as bearish can be. Yes, in technology. I have another one which is just about the polar opposite. We'll get into that. And a few other things that happened today that I'm pretty sure you need to know about. So let me start out with the sore thumbs. And we'll do news later. First off, the Dow finished down 400. That's actually good news. No, really, it's actually good news. We're not making this up. At 350, the Dow was down. Let me take that back. At 336, the Dow was down over 500. At 350, on 130, I got a little 30-second bar, the Dow went up 70 points. And that's how we got back to only being down, I got you at 398 points on the day. What, by the way, not the end of the world. The S&P was only down 13. Why would that be? We'll get into it. The NASDAQ only down 24. And guess what? At about 340, the NASDAQ was down 100. They ramped it into the close to only be down 24, as I said. And what happens from here beats the heck out of me, but a nice little close. But a lot of Jell-O moving on the plate today. I will tell you that all the major indices, for starters, remain above the 50-day moving average. The NASDAQ and NASDAQ 100 have not broken out of range because of a lot of the big names. We'll get into that in a little bit. The Russell 2000 looks fine, probably needs to pull back. Mid-caps with the Dow down 400 today. We're up today. Give you a little understanding of the rest of the market. By the way, with the Dow down 400, there were more stocks up than down on the New York today. Best way I can put it. Let's pick it apart. First off, let's get rid of the bad. An area we have been telling you to avoid, in spite of the good side of technology, is software. And for the life of us, we don't know what's happening in the software industry. We're told maybe artificial, who the hell knows? We're waiting for the artificial intelligence, hamburgers and hot dogs, whatever. All I can tell you today, with the NASDAQ only down 24, the NASDAQ 100 only down 45, way off the lows of 330. Way off the lows. In the Dow, Salesforce.com was down 18 today, 7%. Microsoft, I must say, off the lows, but was down $7.40 today. I'm including a little drop in the aftermarket. Let's call it $7. It was down 10, and I can tell you the last $3 came in the last 10 minutes. But you know where Microsoft is trading right now? Below the 200-day moving average. About 83 points off its highs of October, 85 points off the highs of July, and is trading where it did last June. Microsoft. Oracle. Well, you already know about that bear market. 345 down to 202, and that's off the lows. These are all software names. The big German SAP, been in a bear market. Got upgraded today, was up 6 and finished down. Then I look at my left screen. My little left screen. Autodesk down 7. HubSpot down 17. Intuit down 30. Checkpoint Software down 10. Team down 9. Workday down 9. VeriSign down 8. DocuSign down 4. The software stocks are just getting mauled. Snowflake down 10. Let me repeat. The software stocks are being mauled. Now, if any of you out there have an understanding of why, email me. I have no clue. I'm just letting you know the software stocks are being mauled, and they continue to be one heck of an avoid right now. And they worsened today. In fact, new yearly lows VILLE, V-I-L-L-E, has a bunch of software stocks. And I left out a bunch of names that were hit pretty hard today. So that's number one. Wanted to get that out of the way. And of course, as you know, massive amounts of earnings to come, and things that are bad can turn good, things that are good can turn bad. Just remember that. Next. So yesterday it was proposed by the president, or over the weekend, of a 10% cap on credit cards. He was calling the credit cards criminal. How they can charge 23-24%, on and on. And it's a noble effort to win votes, but economically illiterate on his part, unfortunately, because price controls do not work, and there would be serious repercussions in the industry if that was to be. You know that, right? I know that. You think they're going to keep riskier borrowers with their credit cards? Hell no. You'll get a letter stating we are stopping your credit card. This is what you still owe, and you can pay it off at your whatever, and this is the interest rate, and that's that. That's what would happen for starters. I think the other thing that would happen, there's great business with the credit cards, and that's airline and hotel points. Oh, that crap will be gone. That would have to change. So I don't think the good man in the White House has a clue about the business world. As I said yesterday, he is quite the control freak and the interventionist. He is not a free market conservative, and you don't need me to tell you that. Just listen to everything he says. And we're just stating facts. We disagree with it. And that's that. Interesting enough, though, yesterday they hit all the credit card stocks. But MasterCard and Visa actually bounced yesterday. In fact, MasterCard yesterday at one time hit 555, closed at 566. Visa did the same. Up next, wait till you hear what happened today, and much more on these markets. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, American Express, Capital One, MasterCard, Visa, Synchrony Financial, all got hit yesterday. But MasterCard and Visa came way off the lows. And then what happens today? MasterCard finished down another $21, and it was down 32. Visa finished down another 15 today, and was down 20. So they smoked them again, and they are just yikes. And interesting on this, I don't think there's any chance of that 10%. The president said that the credit card companies have to follow the law. There isn't any law. He made it up. So I don't know what's going on. All I can tell you, they smacked them again today. So let me just give you Friday. Visa closed at $349.77. It closed at $327.83. MasterCard closed Friday at $575.54. It's $544.79. American Express closed Friday at $375.61. It's $358.02. Synchrony Financial closed Friday at $86.89. It's $78.04. And Capital One closed Friday at $249.20. It's $230.27. And interesting enough, I have to mention it again, I don't think there's any chance of that happening. I don't. But hey, I guess you never know. So I had to bring that up, and man, oh man, I have this little rule. Where there's uncertainty, I take a powder. And MasterCard and Visa weren't strong in the first place, but I got to tell you, Capital One, American Express were pretty strong before all this news came out. Next, JP Morgan. So they reported earnings up 9%, revenues up 7%. I did not have time today to go through everything they said. The stock was down $13.69 today to $310.80. A pretty good drop and pretty good top in place right now, breaking the 50-day. Just letting you know, and obviously did not help other banks today. Interesting enough, Bank of New York also reported was up 2.25 today to a new high. So you have one going north on 95 and one going south on I-95. And interesting enough, it was JP Morgan. Now, I'm told one of the reasons why MasterCard and Visa dropped today is supposedly, and I have not confirmed, the JP Morgan CEO said something about it. I don't know. Anyway, I thought JP Morgan was worth mentioning. Next, I told you there's a lot of Jell-O moving on the plate today, ladies and gentlemen. Oil prices. This is not good news if it sticks. So as you know, what we try to do is look for confirmation of turning to the upside or breaking to the downside in individual stocks, sectors, indexes, indices, countries, commodities, you name it. I'm looking at the chart of oil, and guess what? It's oil prices. So OPEC can say something tomorrow. Who knows? As of this second, that baby is turning up. You got that? It looks like it's turning up. Not 100%, but if it is turning up and it sticks, and again, it's oil, you don't know if it'll stick. And I can promise you a couple of times in the last 6 months, looked like it was turning up and then tucked right back in like a frightened turtle. But if it does stick, there's a couple of things that are going to happen. Numero uno, in about 7 days, you'll be paying more at the pump. When it goes down, it usually takes 10 to 14 to pay less at the pump. When it goes up, it's a lot quicker that you pay more. So I just want to mention that to you. Why? Oil prices going up are usually not a good thing. You got that? Oil prices going up is usually not a good thing. So I want you to keep that in mind. What does that mean? Well, the price of energy, the price at the pump, the price of products that use petroleum all go up in price. That's all. Which means cruise lines, airlines, probably you get some pressure on those areas. And as far as oil stocks, let me just state for the record, Exxon is at a new yearly high. Big oil. New yearly high. The stock's only up 25% since 2007, but new yearly high. And a few others new yearly highs. In big oil, Exxon's probably the strongest right now. But you had some good moves today, again, in some of the refiners and the like. And if you look at the exchange-traded funds for the oils, the OIH, new yearly high. But remember what we told you, the OIH hit a high in 2008 of 1,525. It's 320 today. The XLE is the big oil, has not broken out yet. The XOP is the oil services. That's the weakling right now. So there's your oils. And again, cause and effect. If oil prices keep going up, not so sure that's great news for the market. And certainly the travel-related stuff. I also have to mention the payroll. We're skipping around. If you have a chance, go look at ADP and paychecks. Both in big bear markets. And leave no doubt, the job market is on the soft side. So we will be paying attention, as we've said to you about the job market, and we've been saying it for a while, it's soft. Make sure you are indispensable at your firm if you are working for somebody else. Muy importante. Payroll stocks. And of course, there are other bad areas, by the way, but we're not going to go through. We're just doing the outliers today because I also want to mention crypto. And it's very simple. The IBIT is Bitcoin. 53.82 was the high of about 7 days ago. It closed at 53.57, a move above. Up next, we'll do the rest of that crypto and much more. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So IBIT is an exchange-traded fund for crypto, and so is GBTC, a move above 74.07 would be a little move above range and a little bit of what we call a little handle, like a little coffee cup handle breaking above. If that occurs, it has more to go. And as you know, it topped out in October. Pretty darn good bear market. But as we've been saying to you on the show for the last 7 or 8 weeks now, it's been probing a low, moved up, pulled back, but not back to the lows, and now looks like it may want to do a stair step higher. I think we'll know in the next couple of days. Next thing I want to mention. Supposedly tomorrow, the Supreme Court is going to answer on tariffs. I watched the president today at the Detroit Economic Club or something, repeating tariffs are his favorite word, and then he said, no, it's really my fifth because I got to think of family, whatever. He said that if he loses the tariffs, and I pretty much not telling you what he said, all hell's going to break loose. We're going to be destroyed. Kill our economy. Okay. Not true. Not even close. Tariffs are a tax on business. It's a relief. That's all. It's a relief. Maybe the market shake or shudder for 15 minutes. It'll be a relief. My guess, the other worry is the Supreme Court would say you have to claw back what you already brought in. I'm going to guess they're not going to do that. That's a guess. You're not going to say, hey, Apple, you paid $1.8 billion in taxes. You're getting it back now from the Treasury. I don't see that happening. This is just guesswork. And I try to be logical. I think it would be nuts for a Supreme Court to take away all ability on tariffs going forward. I do believe every now and then they're worth it. They're worth using. That's the one thing I did like, using as leverage. What I did not like, 150%. The Liberation Day thing. And I repeat, there are people front and center on you that are just protective of him, and they'll just BS you and tell you that everybody got it wrong on tariffs, that there hasn't been inflation and the world didn't end. No. It was the big tariffs that everybody was having a fit over. How do I know? Because I was part of it. I think 10 and 15% tariffs, fine and dandy. Sometimes you got to go a little bit more, fine. Why? A, there's workarounds. In those numbers, you absolutely can negotiate back and forth with who's ever providing the products. It was the 150 frickin' percent tariffs, which were absolutely insane. But also the constant changing of the tariffs, both in country, product, percentage, exemptions. That constant changing was a pain in the arse also. So my guess, it's a guess, that they're going to come back and say, and I don't know how they're going to do it, because how do you do half full or half empty? Oh, you can do tariffs, but what is the Supreme Court going to say? The most you can do? So I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but I have to believe they're not it. Maybe they are ready. It's a Supreme Court. I don't know. If I were them, I would try to come up with some happy place. We'll see. Supposedly, we're going to get that answer tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. And again, as far as the clawbacks, that would be idiotic on the Supreme Court part. Also, since I've been asked 1,000 times, they're also going to say something about men and women's sports. I'm just Mr. Logic, so you know where I stand. I'm just Mr. Logic, so you absolutely know where I stand on that. When I was in college, I played a very famous woman pro and beat her 2-3. One of the top women pros on clay. Was it clay? Yeah. At a tennis camp. Logic. I must admit, though, if it was a different woman pro, I think I would have lost to the other one because that great servant and much more athletic. But I'm not sure because I never played. I'm not mentioning names. Hope you don't mind that. So that'll be tomorrow with the Supreme Court and blah, 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 blah. Next, the Jay Powell thing yesterday. They're already backing away. Just letting you know. Unforced error. Trump targeting people he doesn't like. Of course he said, I didn't know anything about it. Of course he did. Come on. Don't we down our backs and tell us it's raining. But they've rolled it back pretty much. All of a sudden they're saying it's not a criminal referral. All of a sudden they're saying we just want information and we were asking for information and didn't get. In case you don't know, both sides of the aisle ripped them. And that's the end of that. I doubt it goes any further, but who the hell knows? Tomorrow's another day. And as you know, we have been the biggest critics of Jay Powell up until the last year because we think him going from 5.25% to 3.5% on the 10-year, on Fed funds, fine. We are not thrilled that he's buying up bonds now. We don't like that interference. Our criticism was in the lead up to printing to $9 trillion, buying the bond market, interfering with it, screwing every saver. Every day I was on the show saying, how much are you getting on your money markets? Now, 0. That was all Jay Powell screwing you, in case you don't know. One man and his whims. Taking away your 3 and 4% on your risk-free savings. What an ass. And of course, the problems in housing now are all on his back. He caused them all. So if the president wants to rip the stuffings out of him, it's back then, not now. And by the way, the president was jumping all over him again today, but such is life. We wish the president well. We want him to be successful as successful can be. We are rooting for him big time. Big time we are rooting for him. But it's too much. Doesn't trust us. He needs to start trusting business and people. We'll keep you informed. We'll keep you abreast. And just remember, we don't care about any of the politicians in D.C. We think they all suck. And they've earned it. What are it going to be, $39 trillion of debt? We between 38 and 39 now, right? Can't even keep the number straight. All right. So, what else? Markets. Sneaking up today were the electronic stocks that have been under some pressure. Symbols: CLS, FLEX, FN, GLW, JBL. So they're starting to perk up, and they have been dead. We mentioned the crypto, and just overall better AI trade over the last few days, but be on the careful side, which takes me to my next point on careful. The biggest winners so far this year are the stocks with no sales or very little sales that dropped 50 to 60% from the high starting in September, October. Be very careful. You know where they're going to eventually end up, right? Up next, this, that, and the other thing. Whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Dun-dun-dun. I gotta tell you, the action in a lot of these big mega cap tech, Google acts fine. Siemens acts fine. Tweeners that are really not doing much. Tesla, Nvidia's done nothing since August. Broadcom's under the 50-day. Amazon's been trying. Got hit a little bit today. AMD got upgraded today, was up 13, but still under the 50-day. But man, Adobe, Salesforce.com, Dell, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, little bounce in Netflix finally today. Oracle, Qualcomm just topped SAP. Yikes. What's helped out is the semiconductors. You had the SOX was up a percent today, while the Dow was down 400. I mentioned to you some of the electronic things. LITE had an update, decent Sienna update today. Also have to mention better day for the housing and housing related. The president with adding $200 billion to mortgage backs. By the way, mortgage rates are under 6 now. And I have to tell you, I'm no fan of that. But if it works, I'm a fan. If it takes mortgage rates down, I'm a fan. But he says he's doing it for affordability. But taking mortgage rates down could increase demand, which makes prices higher. That's why I say stay out of the fray. Next up, and I haven't seen any news yet, I didn't have time today. Allstate, down 11 today. Yikes. They keep raising my auto rates. Travelers in the Dow, down 9 today. Progressive, down 11 today. You know what they all do, right? Arthur Gallagher, down 8 today. AIG stock has been smoked. Chubb, down 6 today. I have been very busy today. I'll go look for some news. They smacked the living stuffings out of the insurance stocks today. Just a rough day for anything kind of sort of on the financial side today, except Bank of New York, that was up $2 on their earnings reports. As far as the housing related, strongest name is Toll Brothers. And you have one stock in symbol BLD, Top Build, that is broken out of a nice little range here. Has not looked back, even though 3 quarters in a row of down earnings, which we're never usually thrilled about. 3 quarters in a row of down earnings. Nah, not for us. Retail, not bad today. Dillard's held the 50-day moving average. Let's see how Burlington finished today. Burlington may be wanting to break out a range. Estee Lauder's close. I have no complaints about retail. Just a mushy day, but led by the Dow, which not the biggest of deals. Because you got Salesforce.com down 18, Visa down 15. That's 30. That's 200 and some odd points right there. 2 stocks. Oh, by the way, Goldman was down 11 today on a weaker banking. And you know what I didn't notice? IBM down 9. That was not too good of a day. So a lot of jello. Microsoft down 7 in the Dow. So a lot of jello moving on the plate in the Dow today. But could have been worse. And nice little comeback at the close for the tech area. Not all. And I just want to repeat, until I say otherwise, avoid just about everything software. They're crushing them. And again, we're always looking for answers, reasons, and whys after the fact. We pay attention to actual price and patterns. Got to find out what the market doesn't like about software. And again, everybody's talking about if something's wrong, it's some artificial intelligence. I'm not so sure about that. So that's a little bit of the market today. In other news, somewhat quiet. The big thing is Iran. We notice celebrities not saying anything about Iran because if Israel's not involved, they don't talk about it. The anti-Semitic, racist pieces of crap. We notice the Greters and some of these other very important, activists not saying anything about. I think they're saying anywhere between 5 and 20,000 Iranian citizens murdered by the government because they are protesting, because they finally want to get rid of the despots running the joint there. But if Jews aren't involved, let's forget about it. No big deal. Yeah, right. By the way, they're saying 12,000 killed. Would love to see another country have people running it that are, let's call it quasi-freedom loving. As you know, a lot of these Middle Eastern countries that in the past were quite repressive, they are becoming, if not already, metropolises, creating all kinds of wealth and business and getting into the real world. Women that had no rights have all the rights in the world right now, or at least going that route. This is what we want to see. I'd love to see it that stupid Maduro son of a you-know-what destroyed Venezuela. Let's hope that works out. We'd love to see Cuba too. Fingers will be crossed. Hey, that all said, have a great evening. Drive carefully. And when you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Thanks for joining. Peace out all. Good night.